Now, the Nigeria Institute of Public Relations, NIPR, is still commemorating its 60th anniversary. The union, which has come a long way, is celebrating its dedication to promoting public relations excellence in the country. On that note, the Nigeria Institute of Public Relations and the Global Alliance for Public Relations and Communication Management are forming a partnership to boost PR education in the country. A memorandum of understanding has been signed by Dr. Neliaku, President of the NIPR, and Mr. Justin Green, President and CEO of Global Alliance, representing a significant step towards establishing and operating the first dedicated Institute of Communications and Public Relations on the African continent. Well, joining us from Abuja studio is the President, Nigeria Institute of Public Relations, Neliaku. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Morning. Thank you for having me.
We also have in our Abuja studio President, Global Alliance for Public Relations and Communications Management, Justin Green. Gentlemen, it's good to have you join us this morning, and congratulations on the 60th anniversary of Public Relations, NIPR in Nigeria. And let's begin from that note, how the journey has been, especially at trying to foster good governance and also promote what is necessary, educating Nigerians as well when we're talking about public relations. Neliaku, that question is for you.
Thank you very much. It's been an exciting journey. It's been a journey of mixed feelings from many perspectives, depending on how you look at it. For some people, they don't even know what public relations is all about. One of the challenges we have grappled with in the last 60 years is managing to define an identity for the profession. As you recall, in 1963, when public relations was established as a profession in Nigeria, it wasn't that easy, but I will call them now our forefathers, our founders understood very clearly that public relations is an essential tool in nation building. And they took their drive from what has happened all over the world. You recall that at that time, Nigerians were trained abroad. And from the experiences they saw abroad and the role that public relations played in the 17th century, 18th century, 19th century, 20th century, it became very necessary for them to build a structure around the profession. And that's how the NIPR started until 1990, when we were now chartered as a government certified profession. Then that was under President Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, precisely on the 1st of June, 1990. And then in 2004, with the dawn of the Fourth Republic, the NIPR Act was now received by the National Assembly and proclaimed as an Act of National Assembly, cited as Cap N 114. That has been the structure. But in terms of practice, public relations has made a lot of significant inroads into leadership, into corporate services, into citizens' engagement, into community relations, into peace building. It's been an exciting time. And this is why we felt that we need to celebrate this profession that cuts across every aspect of society. There is no area in society, in humanity, where public relations is not practiced. Be it in the medical science, be it in the engineering field, be it in the legal profession, be it even the markets. Everybody would always want to have a public relations officer, a public relations manager, a public relations director. When we started, it was the issue of public relations as an office function. By 1990, it became public relations as a management function. Today, it is now public relations as a leadership function. And that's where we are, because public relations is no longer the kind of profession where you put the professionals or the experts behind. You have to bring them to the table because they give you the strategic advice, how you can effectively communicate your vision, communicate your ideas, communicate what you have in mind, and to ensure that you carry the people along. This is the challenge of our society. For leaders who understand, they take advantage of that. But for leaders who do not understand, they leave their public relations practitioners behind until they run into difficulties, until they have problems. Then they run to public relations practitioners to fix them. And we are saying, no, start early to get your public relations advisor on the table so that he can guide you, he can sharpen you, he can help you to build your reputation, because your reputation remains your greatest asset anytime, anywhere, any place. And this is why we are celebrating the diamond anniversary of this great profession. Thank you.
So I'll say congratulations are in order here. Now let's move to Justin Green. Of course, he's the president of Global Alliance for Public Relations and Communications Management. Justin Green, in your own view, what's the role of PR in shaping public perception of a country's environment and business environment, especially?
As Dr. Ike stated, I don't think there could be any better enhancement than to have public relations as part. We've seen over the years the growth of public relations around the world. We conduct worldwide research across countries worldwide. We represent 126 countries worldwide with over 360,000 professionals and academics right around the world. And from what we see and from our research, when you conduct the research, what it shows is that companies, not just Pan-African, but right around the world, never before has public relations and communications been more important. And where we're seeing that is in the C-suite as well of companies. We conducted research approaching the future there last year, and what it showed was reputation and corporate management functions are key drivers in companies worldwide. We've seen millions of euro knocked off stocks because of misinformation and disinformation. People are turning to trust and truth. People need trust and truth. And verification has never been so important. So reputation is the #1 asset to any organization, not just a commercial organization, but global organizations right around the world. And that goes from everything from the UN to the African Union to countries around governments, and never before public relations. When you look and you look to presidents, you look to kings, queens, governments around the world when they're talking. We've seen it in Davos. We've seen it at world forums. There is always the public relations advisor, because they have to communicate the message properly and create an understanding environment. Because when people understand, despite the news, even if it's bad news, once people understand it and they hear it and they can verify it, well, then that's important. Reputations have been kept together because of public relations, and stock markets around the world, have seen the result of good communications, and not just stock markets, but in non-profit organizations. And I suppose with the advent of, which we saw with COVID and during COVID, never before was good, verifiable information. And I'm delighted to be here to represent the world in Abuja today, celebrating, and I'd like to congratulate NIPR on their huge achievement, because NIPR is not just leading public relations in Nigeria, it's leading it around the world. There are people in awe of what the NIPR has achieved. It has been phenomenal. They have grown, and we wish them all the very best success. And we are so looking forward to celebrating with them later today. It's a huge achievement, not just for public relations, but for Nigeria as a brand.
Now, Justin, let me just quickly stay with you before I move over to Ike Neliaku. Is Is this the reason why you decided to sign this memorandum with the NIPR, knowing that you have operated in Africa for about 20 years? Is it because of these achievements you decided to agree to this arrangement?
Well, no, we agreed to it because of the quality and because of the vision of what they are looking forward to. No other country, has come up with a dedicated institute and devoted to communications. While communications around the world is involved in many universities and many of them are our members, there is no one university or institution that is totally devoted to communications and public relations. And for this is not a first step for Nigeria. It's not a first step for Africa. This is a first step in the world of this. This is a vision that, is something to be admired and to be looked up at. And we are here as part of it. We will provide every support we can. We will provide lecturers from around the world, from China to Latin America to North America. Every continent will be involved in this huge celebration. And as we move forward, there are other countries looking to already replicate what NIPR and their vision and what they look forward to doing.
Okay, so Mr. Neliaku, in all of this now, you're having a celebration today, celebrating public relations 60 years in Nigeria. What should we expect from NIPR in the coming years?
Thank you. Three things I will expect you to expect, if I have to put it in that language. First is the explanation that Professor Green was giving. The NIPR is establishing an academy, Public Relations and Leadership Academy, which we take off in September this year. And in 2026, September 2026, the NIPR is establishing University of Public Relations and Leadership. That's what he was referring to, the first in the world that we are committing to public relations and leadership. And why are we doing this? I just mentioned to you that public relations has become a serious leadership function. And we now need to teach leaders the essential elements of public relations for effective and strategic communication. And on the other hand, we have to teach public relations practitioners the essential elements of leadership so that when they assume leadership positions, they will also lead very well. And we are doing this in collaboration with Global Alliance. Because of that support, this vision has already reached 126 countries of the world. And for us, it's a significant milestone. We're also working with the Nigeria Prize for Leadership as a partner to bring the strategic aspect of leadership development because of the great work that they have done in the area of leadership.
All right,
so
Mr.
moving
Neliaku,
forward,
we are
seeing a more vibrant...
Okay, so how, in all of this...
I haven't even responded to the issue.
Yes, I understand, yes, but the University of PR Leadership, you just talked about that. How do you think this will change the face of governance?
That is the issue. You discover that there are 4 or 5 essential things that many, if not most, of our leaders are missing today. First, Professor Justin talked about it, the challenge of trust. Trust has become a very big burden on our leaders. 2, the issue of mediation and conciliation driven by third parties. 3, matters of relationship development for credible engagement. 4, issue of perception management and reputation. And finally, and for me most importantly, citizen engagement. leaders must engage the citizens to know what they need and therefore provide for them what they need. Look at the challenge we are facing in Kenya as a result of leadership insensitivity to the situation, to the plight, to the needs of the citizens. When you don't engage citizens and engage with them effectively, the tendency is that the leadership will run into crisis. Look at what happened at the FEC meeting yesterday. Mr. President said they will have to consult and do more on the issue of minimum wage. That is the essence of public relations. That is the importance of strategic engagement. He wants to consult the state governors. He wants to consult other people before he sends a bill to the National Assembly. Yes, it may be that it's going to cause delay, but you see, at the end of the day, he wants to build a consensus so that everybody will be on the table in taking that important decision. You don't want to take a decision that governors will say, we don't know what you're talking about, we are not going to support you, and then you have a kind of challenge between the federal and the state. And remember that we are in a federation. And one of the things that we try to encourage leaders is to recognize that we have tiers of government and everybody should be on the table. So the greatest thing that we bring to the table in advising in situations like this is citizens' engagement. You must carry citizens along. You must realize that you are holding any position because of citizens. When you carry citizens along, they will follow you. And especially Nigerians, they are wonderful people. All they need is to earn your trust, and for them to earn your trust, they must earn your truth.
Absolutely. Before we let you go, let's quickly talk about the colloquium that is holding in regards to the celebration, the 60th commemoration of the 60th year celebration of NIPR. Talk to us about that. Who are those that can attend? Are leaders that you are speaking to about this whole matter going to be part of that colloquium?
Yes, very much so. The theme of the colloquium is public relations, value reorientation, and economic transformation. How do we use public relations to create more value for the nation, leading to economic transformation? The special guest of honor is the number 3 citizen, Senator Godswill Akpabio, the Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The guest speaker is the first female Vice President of Liberia, Her Excellency Dr. Joel Howard Taylor. And this is open to leaders. We are going to discuss in a manner that will bring out things. That's why we called it a colloquium, not just a conference. And who are those that will empanel the colloquium? We have the Minister of Information speaking for the federal government. We have the Governor of Nasarawa State speaking for the governors. We have the owner of Air Peace, Chief Dr. Allen Onyema, speaking for the private sector. And we have Chizo Malize speaking for women who are doing very well in the corporate sector. And then it will be moderated by someone who is from not just the civil society, but from the development space. That's Dabo Oyewole. So this is being put together to have people from executive, people from legislative, arm of government, and then people from the civil society, from the business, and from the private sector, as the case may be, including youths. We have young people who are coming to be part of it, and it's open to everybody. It's at Transcorp Hilton Hotel, tomorrow by 10 a.m. at the Congress Hall.
Right. The hope for a majority of persons is that this is not just about talk. It is that we implement whatever is being said at the end of the day. That is what we're looking forward to.
NIPR has a tradition of implementing decisions arising from its summits. The first one we had in the last 3 years was in 2021-2022. We produced a report called Citizens Report, Rebooting Nigeria. Part of what you're seeing today is outcome of that report. We are implementing our reports. That's why it's a colloquium. We generate ideas, we implement ideas. We don't meet just for meeting's sake. National Spokesperson Summit that held in March, we're already producing the results and the report, and at the end of the day, we are going to implement it.
And that's a fine place to leave this conversation. Ike Neliaku, President, Nigeria Institute of Public Relations, thank you for your time, as well as Justin Green, President, Global Alliance for Public Relations and Communications Management. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming on the program this morning. Thank you.